ערב טוב ושבוע טוב לכם. מי שזכה באוסקר, ג'ון וויט, היה אורח של צעירי חב"ד. הוא כועס על שתיקת העולם.
No one's talking about it. Can you imagine?
וויט הגיע ארצה ביוזמת ארגון צעירי חב"ד. הוא תומך בצעירי חב"ד, במיוחד בפרויקט המסייע לילדי צ'רנוביל. עד כה הובאו ארצה 2,500 ילדים מן האזור שנפגע בקרינה הגרעינית עקב אסון הכור הגרעיני שם. הנה מה שאמר ג'ון וויט לאלי וולגרנטר, כתב מחלקת החדשות בשפה האנגלית, וכך מסביר היום וויט את תמיכתו הנלהבת בישראל, בעם היהודי. הנה.
Why do I believe in it? Well, I believe in it because of the history of the Jewish people. Everyone who has attacked the Jews, and it was said in almost the first chapter in Genesis, it says, God says to Abraham, those who bless you will be blessed, those who curse you will be cursed. And isn't that what has happened over, 3,600 years, 3,600 years? Isn't that what has happened? Exactly what has happened. And and then when you look at just the survival of modern Israel, everybody's saying 60 years, a celebration of 60 years. It's a miracle it's still around. Any one of those wars is a miracle. Every one of them. So we better, read. It's like when people say, read that writing on the wall. Well, that's another biblical thing, the writing on the wall with blood. Fellas, we better read the writing on the wall and protect Israel with everything we've got.
You were in Sderot this week. What were your impressions there?
Well, I was very concerned to go there. It was one of the reasons why I said I wanted to come this time. I said I want to go to Sderot. And the reason I wanted to go to Sderot is because no one's talking about it. Can you imagine? Here Israel, in this democracy, this civilized body of sensitive people with all of this moral stature, bends to try to help this situation, this warring situation, by doing everything they can. And what do? They give this group of terrorists Gaza. Now, I would have said, don't do that. These people are not interested in appeasement. Their agenda is to destroy Israel and all Jews. That's their agenda. That's what they teach their children. That's their motivating energy. Now, not everyone, not those that have become friends and all of that, but still the program is so deep. It's very difficult for an Arab or a Palestinian to overcome that programming. And that's the essence of the programming. Who's the problem with the world? A little Palestinian kid will say, the Jews. I'm going to grow up and kill Jews. That's the answer. Well, and I can say stuff like that, and people say, oh, it's not like that. I said, fellas, it's like that. That's what it's like. So you see what happened? You wanted to give them Gaza? They had this wonderful infrastructure. They had, all of the possibility of going there and living a fruitful life and getting help from the world community to do it. They could have had that. And Israel would have helped them in every way. But what do? They destroyed everything. And then they shoot these rockets into the civilian populations. And they shoot them from civilian populations, from their families. They shoot them from in the middle of schools, of mosques, so that if there's a retaliation to try to stop them, there's going to be injury to innocent people. They want it. Then they can go to the papers with it. They can go to the world press with it. They can. Oh my God! It's a very sick process here, and no one's talking about it. Nobody wants to talk about it. Everyone has to be so politically correct. Please, fellas, there's evil afoot.
Do you understand that Jews sometimes say about John Voight, where does this passion come from? This Gentile that's so passionate for Israel?
Well, There are reasons for it. I mean, many different reasons for it, but it certainly is a passion, and I think that all sane people should have a passion for Israel at this time. It's a big deal, as I have a passion for my own country. We're under siege as well. This is a very important time. It's a very dangerous time. And when people say to me, look, John, you know, maybe it's better you don't say too much. You know, an agent or something like that. What was it? And, you know, they're looking out for my career and all of that. Look, fellas, I'm old enough. I'm not thinking about myself or a job or something like that. I'm thinking about the future of our children, the future of this world that we're in. We better, if we have anything to say, I better say it now. I'm 69 years old. I got not a whole lot more time to do this. So if I can make a difference, I want to do it now.
When and how did you switch from lefty to righty?
Well, there were two things that happened. One was when I saw what happened at the end of the Vietnam War. And it took me a while to really digest it, I must tell you. But the left wing, the left, which was communist, I have to say, there's a lot of communist roots in all of the so-called anti-war movement, right? It was communist manipulated. And I didn't realize that until afterwards. I said, holy, these were communists. And who were we fighting? Communists. Give me a break, guys. And what were they good at? Propaganda. And we see these people just falling for it, you know what I mean? They're propagandists. That's the real danger right today. We can defeat militarily this enemy, but we're being overwhelmed by propaganda. So when you say, well, the Jews think this and this, they still think it's Roosevelt. Do you know what I mean? They haven't made an adjustment. They haven't seen the evil of this thing. Well, they have to be educated. They have to make that turn. But they're being used. This is what I see. So.
One last question.
So it was then, when I saw the bloodshed, 2.5 million people killed in Cambodia and South Vietnam, the boat people, you know, it was a horror, unparalleled horror. And if you think that's bad, pull out of Iraq. You'll see a slaughter. You'll see a political misstep that you'll take, I don't know how long to recover from in the world. You'll lose the chance for a democracy in that part of the world, which is so deeply important. The stabilization of Iraq is very important now. You'll lose everything. It's a disaster facing us right now. So the clock is ticking, guys. We get the wrong guy in for president, this time we're in a lot of trouble.